my
I don't
opinion.
know if they do this, but like it'll be so easy with the tools they got to just code a bot that plays the rotation perfectly and like take a look at that and
Yeah.
see how much the damage is doing. Like in an afternoon, you can balance out the numbers of a class. It's not that hard. And of course, like then players are gonna discover a new build or always like that. I believe that, but like when you look at these damage differences, it's very evident that they didn't test anything.
No, exactly. Like it's almost to the point where like I'm wondering, and I think I know the answer to this already, and I think other people are aware of this as well, that we're just basically the guinea pigs of this PTR. Like we're the testing.
I'm happy
It's
with
either
that.
they, you know what I mean? Like we're the testing that they're getting their answers from, and they're too busy and swamped with other pieces of work, aka Kata, aka trying to help out maybe with Mop or do things with the War Within, whatever they're working on, and they're just too overburdened to the point where that's why they mentioned on that Twitter post to Hammerdance about longer PTR weeks, because depending on how long that PTR is, this is a major concern to talk about, is that you have a lot of things going on right now in terms of what's going to be happening from June, July, August. The big Summer Festival game show was just announced. A lot of games are coming out around the corner. Elden Ring DLC is dropping in 4 days, which I'm really excited about. We're both
Time
excited
to kick
about
some ass.
as players. Exactly. I'm very excited for that. So I'm heavily going to be playing that. And during this time frame, if you're saying a couple weeks, does that mean like we're not going to see Phase 4 until July? Because if that's the case, then War Within's only a month away.
Yeah,
A
like
lot of players are going to move to the War Within, believe it or not.
by the wording
They're
that
going to
Agen
want to try
told Hammerdance on Twitter, he said first few weeks. That implies to me that it is at the very least 3 weeks. At the very least.
Yeah, it's just a little shocking to me, because I know Evan was talking Evan Hart TV was talking about you know maybe we see something on the 27th of this month. But that just changed when Agron mentioned that. So it's like a
I think
couple
he
weeks is
slipped.
a little crazy.
I think
Yeah,
he
I
did
think
a
it
Freudian
slipped.
slip.
Yeah, I honestly think, and this is something he wants to avoid, and I understand that too. But it's like hard to like avoid certain things with wording when it comes to the community, because like the community is always going to read the context of lines and figure something out. And when you said a couple weeks, that's like now in people's head is like, all right, well, I get to just uh, do my thing and just not play War Within, and just basically not not play War Within when it comes out, or play other games, and then ignore SoD in the meantime. You know what I mean?
This year is kind of way too packed. I think it's like the Blizzard employee that has to decide when things come out is having a really hard time making everything fit in a good window, because like dropping something at the right time is so important for gaming, like dropping a good game a month differently in like between, even if the game is really good, if you're competing with another big launch that is coming out the same day, you're gonna have a really hard time. And like trying to feed in Cataclysm, Retail, and Classic, and Mop, and Hardcore, or whatever the hell they want to do next, or whatever, like there's only so much time in a year.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna be having, I think over time, the more products they keep releasing, we're gonna have to look at like more and more awkward release dates for Classic, and that kind of sucks.
No, yeah, it's really concerning, and I really hope that we don't see things interrupt the development and the initial release of Phase 4, because I really feel like Season of Discovery is something that a lot of people overall through its ups and downs have enjoyed for the most part. Phase 1, Phase 2, we really had some really good times going on during those phases, even though obviously Phase 2 had its issues, of course, you know what I mean. But overall, like the hype of SoD was there, and now as of then compared to now, the hype of SoD has been dwindling and has been more concerning than it is overall hype. And I really hope that they give a proper release time for this next phase, because if it's out to a point where it's too late, there's going to be a lot of player base. When if you offer them something new, they're going to jump to something new. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's going to take a lot of players from one side to the other end. It's just the way how it works naturally.
I call it the Rick and Morty effect, you know? Like, I remember when, like, season 3 was it came out. I don't know. I watched every episode when it came out, and they took, like, a 2 or 3 year hiatus or something. I never watched the show again. I mean, I thought it was
Oh yeah.
good, but I stopped caring. You know, that's the problem when you do this stuff. A lot of people are gonna stop
No.
caring.
Exactly. It's like if you give a reason for people to stop caring about something, they're gonna care about it. Like what's the point for that individual to care about something if you're giving them a reason not to care about it? You know what I'm saying? Like you're basically saying like, oh, well, we're gonna be releasing all these versions of WoW, and this is kind of what happened. And it gave them kind of like, I guess, a self excuse for them to work on other projects. Now, whether they were unaware about them working on Kata at the time, or this was just something that was slapped on their desk and said, hey, let's try this out. You know what I mean? It wasn't part of like the initial roadmap. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of hype at BlizzCon. If you remember a while back, like BlizzCon was like so hyped. They were talking about possible Scarlet Monastery,
The launch was
raids.
so big. The hype was
Yeah, it was so
insane.
big. It was insane, so like there was such like juicy information being discussed about, and it was like, okay, well, I'm really hyped. You're really getting us a lot excited, and I'm not trying to feed off nostalgia or whatever it is, but you're saying that we're about to discover all these new things in SoD, and now fast forward all the way to June of halfway through the year, and we're like, fuck, I feel a little bamboozled. Not to be rude, but I feel a little lied to. I'm not gonna lie, and it's not to say that the game's not totally great and all, because obviously I'm still having fun with it, but it's not what I expected. It's more of a test, which I think it is. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's more of season of testing rather than discover. And who knows? If nothing comes out working good with this, PTR, I'm gonna be a little disappointed overall. Just to keep it frank with you.
Yeah, like one point that I wanted to make for a while is that when I say I am losing faith in SoD Phase 4 because of bad changes, I think the concept of seasonal discovery hit it on the park. Like the long-term faith that I got on the Warcraft franchise after seasonal discovery is immense, because like if you put iterate on this a couple times, like you're gonna have a very sustainable long-term experience here. Like I think you can do this thing every year and a half, every 2 years, and like there's a lot of people that are gonna be hyped for it. But I think we got a little rug pulled. We were promised the Scarlet Monastery raid. We were promised Karas and Crypts. Do you think we're still gonna get them?
I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. I don't know if we're gonna be getting Karazhan Crypts anytime soon. I think possibly we will be. I'm not saying it's out of the line, the deck of cards just yet, but I don't think we're gonna get Karazhan Crypts until some point after the War Within is like out or a little bit further down the line. And that's a little bit of my concern too, where it's like how much player retention and how much data compared to the charts of like players are going to be playing War Within content, how much more YouTube feedback that's going to get, how much more eyes on Twitch and YouTube or Kick or whatever other streaming platforms it's going to get. I'm really that's where my main focus and priority is right now, because it's like if War Within takes over the planet and it's actually really good, if it's good, SoD is not going to be in a state where it's like super hyped. It'll be, a casual scene and people will still be playing it and looking forward to coming back. You might see people, giving a little hype every time, a SoD announcement happens and it's actually good, but it won't be in its concurrent, like, okay, this game is juicy every day, every time, every moment stated like it once was. You know what I mean? That's how I'm feeling right now.
I think it's even gonna make it harder for Agen, because if War Within does very well, Agen is gonna have a much harder time going to management and saying, can we get 2 more employees so we don't have to work 14 hours a day? And they're gonna be like, yeah, but we're putting money in this War Within thing and it's kicking your ass, so we're not gonna do that, like there's gotta be like some sort of competition in between the sectors of WoW that's gonna make it harder for them.
Oh, I agree. 100%. I mean, we just have to wait and see at this point. I mean, right now, I think a lot of us as creators and the players, it's the waiting game right now. and it's basically do other things and play other things type of angle at the moment, because there's only so much stuff you could do in the PTR. There's only so much pre-prep you can do with the current phase that we're in on Season of Discovery and Phase 3. And at this point, it's basically all eyes on the dev team. What are you guys going to give to us in the next couple weeks, if this is the information that you gave us in the next couple weeks for the next phase? And are we going to see active things happening during this PTR? Because if not, I'm
That's
not going to
gonna
lie to
bury
you,
it.
it's looking, yeah, I think you're going to put
That's
the
live or
nail in the
die.
coffin finally. Yeah, I think you're going to put the nail in the coffin after a while. And this is me coming from a point of view, because I'm never on the doomer mindset where I'm always like, SOD's dead, SOD's trash, SOD's been dead. There's a lot of people like that troll and comment, and I get that part. I've been a part of the train myself where, like, I'm trying to hype SOD. I'm always standing behind it. I'm locking it in. You know how I am, with the culture. But it's only so much I can do, to the point where after a while you have to accept the realization that they're not giving back to us, and eventually you lay it down. It just is what it is, and I don't want it to get to that point, but we have to see. I think right now the biggest thing for me is that each week, like each Tuesday to, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm curious to see the blue post and PTR changes. That's what I'm like living for right now in terms of World of Warcraft stuff.
It's just. I think this is a pivotal moment. Like you said, you don't want to be dramatic. I'm gonna be a little dramatic here. This week is gonna be a pivotal moment. We either see them do stuff for the PTR, or we see Season of Discovery lose all the hype. I think honestly, like dropping the PTR so early, even though there might be a very good reason for testing, you want to get as much testing as possible. But this could very well be what kills it, like if you stretch out the PTR for a month, you're going to kill the hype of the game.
No, yeah, dude. I mean, you're not wrong, dude. I know a lot of people I've seen even in my comment section. They'll be like, "Yo, Tello, I love your videos, man. Like, I think you bring a lot of good energy to the industry. But overall, man, SOD is it's just not fun anymore. Me and my guild, we fell off. People's guilds are dying. People are getting bored of the game. It's getting stale. They're moving on to other things. And I see these comments a lot too. You know what I mean? And it just happens. Why would you want to give money to something where it's not giving you something investing in return?
They got two roles here.
Yeah.
Do we either destroy the PTR, or do we change it and keep it alive? And like that's gonna be the end or die of Season of Discovery right here, right now. Okay, we either get a patch of like a bunch of stuff on Tuesday, or nobody's gonna care anymore. I think there's not gonna be an in between.
No, yeah, I 100% agree. If we don't see nothing, man, dude, I don't know how long I can try to defend them. Because I try to, at the end of the day, I try to give much credit and love and support to Season of Discovery team, because I like them a lot. I like Agen a lot. I think it was really awesome of what they created in, phase 1 and going into phase 2. But there's only so much cracks in the shield I can take, Paladin meme aside. There's only so much I could take before, after a while, I'm just gonna have to be truthful.
The
and be
bubble only
honest
lasts
about
10
certain things.
seconds. After the bubble runs out, you're gonna take real damage. There's only so much.
No, yeah, exactly. And it's like I don't want to snap, but like I don't want to because sometimes you'll have people like we try to keep it I guess PG friendly or family friendly about certain things, but it's like after a while, it's gonna be you got to be honest and be like, come on, guys, like what the fuck are we doing? Like, come on. It's simple as that. It's raw, it's uncut, it's real. And that's just the truth all about it. And I really hope that I guess tomorrow, I think we're seeing an update, I believe. Tomorrow, I think Monday. So if it's
Did
Monday
they
by
say it yet?
calculation, I think Monday or Tuesday we're gonna see something. And if that's the trajectory we're gonna follow, that means
That's
every
good.
Monday or Tuesday we're gonna see something. So that
That's
means
good.
17, 18, 24, 25th, the first and second, and then looking at the last, if let's say, if by any chance phase 4 comes out on the 11th, the 8th and 9th. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of active PTR changes. If that's just an assumption, if the phase 4 comes out July 11th.
That would be ideal. Honestly, like that's all I want. I don't want that much. Okay, like I know we're not getting the phase 4 soon. Like I think nobody's surprised about that too much. Maybe they were expected 2 weeks early or so, but I think your date July 11th. Like I think you're either gonna hit it or you're gonna hit it like on the side. Like it's gonna be right there. It's gonna be right there.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna be honest, man. Like if I don't see something by July 11th, I'm definitely making that video where I'm gonna be not too happy on it. I'm gonna be
Agen!
keeping it a buck. I'm gonna be fucking flipping out. You might see a steel chair, and I might do a swanton bomb off the bed right here, right onto my chair.
Oh, you
'cause,
gotta get a ladder and drop off the ladder to the bed, bro. You know, like
yeah,
in
dude, I'm gonna
WWE.
off the top belt, Macho Man Randy Savage drop. Hold the elbow, all right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit him with a good old Dusty Rhodes, just a bionic elbow. But you best believe that's gonna happen because it's gonna be ridiculous if we don't see something at that point. You got 4 weeks of a PTR, and there's no active changes going on, and you guys have the audacity not to put this out on the 11th. You're gonna put this out on what, the 20th something of July, and then you're gonna mean to tell me that people are gonna play SoD for a month before War Within? Oh, buddy, that's gonna be interesting.
Give him
That's
the
a tight
chair.
window. That's a tight window, coach. That's all I'm saying. Real tight.